Hello and welcome back, and tonight I'm very excited because it's the 2nd of October. Oktoberfest is going to be finishing tomorrow, I think, the 3rd. So I've got my last German sort of beer to talk about, and then I'm going to then do another video. I'm going to get my Stein out and I'm going to bang a litre of the Oktoberfest, the PAULANER Oktoberfest beer into that, and I'm going to enjoy it. And just video myself drinking it and just edit it so it's snippet, just for fun, you know. Anyway, I've got myself some new glasses, so I thought, and I'm hoping, I've done the regenerate and I've cleaned them, and I'm hoping that these will do it justice, because I'm really excited about this. And I didn't even know I had it, and I'll tell you the little story. I've got the PAULANER Salvator Doppel Bock beer. According to form, the world famous, probably the best beer in the world ever been brewed. It's been brewed for 3. I've got some notes here because I thought it'd be right to just try and get a little bit of information about this. Although there is a load of this bit I've seen Crumbly Beard, check out Tom's channel, review this, and he said I'm not really going to go too much in the history, and then he gave an absolute blinding, brilliant history chat. I was glued to it, and I've watched his video 2 or 3 times, simply because, not for the tasting notes or anything, because or what he comes up with a beer, because I don't like to watch other reviewers before I've tried a beer. But I've actually realised when I got this that I thought, oh my god, I've seen it. So Adam, the Beer Monster Beer Reviews, he's done this beer, and so has Crumbly Beard. I'll tag them, I'll mention them on the channel. But yeah, Tom at Crumbly Beard gave a really great, brilliant insight to this beer without any notes, you know. And as soon as I've searched, I've seen there's lots and lots of people review this is a world famous beer, and it's been brewing for 375 years. So literally it's going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews. But I just wanted to do it myself, because when I went to the Offie Murray in Clarendon Park, and I was going there to get in the Oktoberfest beers. I got some of them from the Market Harbour store, but I was waiting for the last one, the Augustina, and he got it in, rang me up, and he got it in. And when I was there, I was like, oh, throw me some great beers, some great German beers. And he says, right, well, with the Oktoberfest, you're going to love this one. He gave me this. And then he gave me this, which I had last night, which is like a hybrid. There's a video on that as well. That was stunning. The fact that you've got that wheatiness in there, and with the Doppelbock as well, like just a hybrid, the 2 styles coming together, that was wonderful. That really was. And I seen that, and then as I was looking down, I noticed I had this. I didn't even know, and when he gave it me, he told me this was the best beer that PAULANER do, but I didn't really know the history of it. I didn't know. That, you know, I didn't know it was brewed by the monks. Now, apparently these monks came from Italy, I believe, to PAULANER, and obviously monks can only brew beer for their own consumption. So they brewed this beer, and now tell me if I'm wrong. I've literally just done a Google search. I've got all scrappy notes here. So anyway, they brewed this beer, and they called it liquid bread. And it was helped, so I put it was PAULANER's monk from Italy who invented this unfiltered bottom fermented double bock. A bock being like a strong beer, like a really full-on malty, strong, normally like dark lager. It's been brewed for 375 years, always using the same recipe with only a few refinements. Now the thing that I thought, if there's been a few refinements over the years, so 300 odd years ago, they're coming up with a beer that now is still awesome. Apparently, according to what Tom said, awesome beer. Adam as well, awesome beer. I'm excited about it. A nourishing beer to help with surviving the fasting. So it was like a beer full of like goodness and nourishment or whatever. It's like beer. We've always known beer is food, isn't it? You know, it is food. But then there was restrictions meant that they can only have it for their own consumption. But then they started to sort of give it to the poor, I believe, and then sell it to the locals. And then the authorities sort of like got onto this because they weren't allowed to do that. But then from what I've sort of like looked into very quickly, they actually like the beer. So they turned a little bit of a blind eye to it, which sounds about right, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's called the father of all strong beers. And I've also heard the names Oil of the Holy Father, Liquid Bread, and the earlier brews were thought that because obviously technology now means we can get the ABV dead right every single time. This beer coming in at 7.9, isn't it? Yeah, 7.9%. It was thought that it may have been like sort of 10%. It was hard to get it about right. And there was a newspaper article right back in the day about two guys that were drinking this, and they got into like a fight, and they were just pummeling each other. And it got a bit of a name, I suppose, like the original old Stella. Like, you know, the Stella used to be called like fighting beer. I'm not going to say what we all know it were called because that's a bit uncorrect to say. But yeah, but they called this, they said it may turn men into beasts. So I'm hoping when I drink this tonight, I'm going to turn into this big beer beast, you know, not a fighting beast, because like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know? Anyway, so I really hope my glass is clean enough to give this beer the justice. If I lose the head on this beer, I'll be a bit fed up. But anyway, yeah, a Doppel Bock. I was calling that a double bock because it is what it is yesterday. I'm so excited to get this out and try it. It's a well-known beer amongst all the beer lovers, I would have thought, and I really hope there's somebody watching this that probably don't know about this beer. But yeah, I mean, as far as like these sort of beers go, oh, look at the colour of that. It's like liquid toffee coming out of there, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. Now I don't expect this. Please don't go over. Oh. Well, do you know what? I'm not even going to put that to my lips. I'm going to let that go over and fall on the bar because I didn't want to put that to my lips. I want to smell it first, which I can actually smell it now. I've not actually got, what have I got here? I've got a beer mat here. Timothy Taylor's Bolt Maker. I'll put that on there. I'm pleased with that. So I've actually got myself quite a decent head there. An off-white head. Quite like respectful of the beer. It's like one of those caramel milkshake sort of heads. The beer looks quite hazy, really. I mean, obviously the wheat beer I had yesterday, the hybrid beer, it's bound to be hazy. What a beautiful look! That literally looks like liquid toffee, doesn't it? Liquid caramel. Look at it. Oh my word! That is. That's just sort of like a deftly beautiful, blimmin'. Ready, pinky ready, cherry looking, sort of like caramelly looking. Oh my life. Well, and you know why I've had it in these glasses as well? Because I didn't want to put it in a glass that took the whole beer because I'll be drinking this too quick. So I just give this a little swirl, but there's plenty left in there. Oh, I can see, look at that coming out of there. This is gonna be wonderful. So yeah, so I'm not the first to talk about this beer. I think it's been talked about hundreds of times. I can smell it from here. It smells absolutely delicious. But I think as far as a British brew goes, it's probably leading more towards your barley wines type of thing. Very, very full body, you know, full of malts and sweety goodness and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, oh my goodness me. I think the only barley wine that I probably had, and I've just spoke about, is it Robinson's Old Tom? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's quite a darky barley wine type of beer. Oh my God, that is absolutely wonderful. And it is smelling barley winey. It smells, you can smell the alcohol in that, certainly. Oh, anyway, there's just so many things going on in that beer, the smell. So many dark fruits. Absolutely wonderful. So, cheers everybody. I've really enjoyed reviewing these the Oktoberfest beers that were stood there the other day, and then trying all these different German beers and just discovering how brilliant these brewers are. Cheers. Oh my days. It's the first time I've ever had this beer, and it ain't gonna be the last time. Now the one I had yesterday that I talked about, that I'm definitely gonna buy that. I reckon a nice evening, a couple of them. Oh, take your time like with these. Take your time with these, and oh my word, it's gonna be an absolute delight. Wow, that is just hitting me with, there is actually quite a nice bitterness with that just clings onto the palate there. It's warming. This is warming me up straight away more than what the 8.2% beer. I keep bringing that in because I feel that's a partnership. It's a little star of the show as well. But yeah, it's this again is a little bit more fizzy on the tongue. It's a little bit more, the wheat beer, the hybrid beer was a bit softer. This has got a little bit more bite to it. It's got some very sort of like nice nutty type of bitterness with it. I've heard there's like chocolate, like the chocolate taste in this. Not quite got that yet, but bitter chocolate is the sort of chocolate that I really like in these beers, and I think that's going to come through as I get down this bit a little bit more. That's what I'm hunting for with the chocolate. I don't think there's any like a milk chocolate or a creamy chocolate. It's going to be working within dark and really dark chocolates and really dark malts, and you know, everything's quite dark, even though it, you know, under the lights it's like a really lovely sort of like mahogany colour, like I said about that one the other day, I think. Really, really nice. Really, really lovely looking beer. Loving these glasses. I've done all the beer talks and everything in the Budvar glass. I just think it's been a really good glass for some reason. I'm really starting to make sure that I use try and get the right glasses. And when I done that beer the other day, Janie ordered me that, if you've watched the other video, a lovely PAULANER wheat beer glass. It's absolutely lovely. But I'm liking these, I like how you can hold them like that. They're quite thick. These only, I think they're a 400 milliliter glass, which I thought was quite strange really, when most beers are either 330 or 500, isn't there? So, you know, is it for that reason, to have a little sip and then swirl your craft beer around and get the gunk in? Talking of which, oh, there's plenty left in there, you see. Now, these beers do not taste as strong as, I'm still gonna leave some in there. Look at the rising carbonation on that to form that absolutely beautiful head. The actual head on that, look at it. It is soft, it's thick, it doesn't even move, look. It's not even moving. It's that sort of full. It's that full. This is going to give me like a moustache. Oh my God. I think what makes these beers as well, now this is something I researched as well, and I heard it just from watching some of the Oktoberfest videos and a few from PAULANER website. I'm sure it's 190 meters below the surface is where they draw their completely and utterly pure fresh water. I can't remember, I did research it, and it's sort of like, it's protected by layers of rock, and it's completely pure. It's 190 meters down, I'm sure it is, and that's the water that they use for their beers. Beer is 90% water. It's like Everard's Brewery. They Burtonise their water for certain beers, probably for the old original here as well. I'm not 100% sure, but the water makes a massive difference. And this is why I was talking about, I love Utopian Brewery for doing their German and Czech style lagers. This is going to be a long video, but I don't care. It's a beer that needs talking about and comparing. They do their German and Czech style lagers, but after drinking all of these, I love them and I still do. But you can just tell it's British. You know, the yeast strains in these and the water that's being used, the pureness, the absolute pedigree in what's going on here. You know, monks brewing this beer 375 years ago. Does it say, it says it, I'm sure I've heard somebody mention about 1600 and something or whatever it was. I can't do the maths on it. It's all in German anyway. But like, and this has just had subtle changes. Like, I think where did I put being amongst the same recipe, but only a few refinements. So not so much changes, but just a bit of refinements. Just sort of like, it's almost like making it just that little bit more perfect than it already is. Look at the head still staying there, not going anywhere. It's got an absolutely beautiful level of carbonation, keeping that brilliant head retention. Caramel and toffee on the nose there. Real sort of alcohol bitterness there. Warming, nutty. Yeah, liquid bread, like a dark bread. It would like one of them really nice malty, seeded, brown, crafted bread that you get. Sainsbury's do one. Not advertising Sainsbury's. They do their Taste the Difference, but the bread that they bring out is our favouriteest bread in the world. And it's like, yeah, I can see why they say liquid bread. I can't, there's not enough superlatives to talk about this beer. It's probably one of the best bloody dark lager bocks I've ever had, because I've not had a bock ever. Oh, it's just absolutely. It really has got that barley wine. You can tell that you're drinking a full strength, dark, full bodied, malty bloody goodness. So anything on the bottle? No, just Doppelbock. Just an absolutely awesome beer. So there's a little bit left in there. Is there any yeasty goodness? It's unfiltered, isn't it? So just look at that. Look at it. You know when you hold a glass up like that with a beer in it, the quality of that. Just, I mean, we get into a habit of swilling these beers round, but I just love how it activates that carbonation there and it just chases back up to the head and keeps that foam there. It's just wonderful, wonderful. Really smelling the darkness in this now. That really is dark. The dark fruits are really coming through now. That really is. Sometimes when I get really drunk down here, I go back up to the house, and when my stepson's here from university, he has snacks, just crisp and Doritos and chocolates and all sorts. And I tell you what, have you ever had like the chocolate raisin? Not the fruit and nut. There's a chocolate. I tell you what it was, the club biscuit, where it was the chocolate and raisin. I'm sure it is. I'm getting some of the dark, like a bit of the darker chocolate, but a chocolate raisin. So if you sort of like, or even them chocolate raisins, but they're milk chocolate. So if you just imagine having some really nice bitter chocolate, the proper good cocoa chocolate stuff, and then having a mouthful of raisins as well, mix it all that up. Oh my God, with the fruits. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. It's just a pure, fruity, alcoholic, yeah, Beer Monster, I think, mentioned, has just come to me because I'm just starting to taste these. I think he mentioned like a Christmas cakey type of beer. I actually got here a Christmas cake. I've got a Christmas cake gin here. Yeah, it smells like a Christmas cake gin. That's got nothing to do with that beer. But I feel like it just comes to me. Yeah, but I think Adam at Beer Monster mentioned about like Christmas cake where you've like really put some of that booziness in it and all that. So you've got a load of fruit, a nice fruity cake and a nice booziness about it. But yeah, what a fantastic beer. I just want to carry on talking while I drink it so you can just watch. Now I'm sure this beer is going to be available all the time. So if you've not, oh, here we go, look, 1634. I knew 1600 and something was mentioned somewhere. So does this mean it's been brewed since 1634? Is that 375 years ago from today? 1634. Can you imagine? Can you imagine all them years ago brewing a beer knowing that in 2023 the beer's going to be brewed the same, just a tiny little few refinements? That's like making a car in 16... You imagine making a car in 1634. Was cars actually invented then? No, of course they weren't. But you imagine the first car that went on the road to the cars that we've got now. In the beer world, that what a complete and utter proud monk you would be if you could be around now to see this, to know that like when Henry Ford first invented the car, I don't know, the Model T. I'm not really that into it. I'm not very good at my history. That's why I've had to research. I didn't just want to drink this. I wanted to actually be able to talk about it. But when he invented that car, I don't know. And now there's cars where you got an app. We've got an app on the Focus, but it's not the same. There's cars that they'll come to you. You can turn them on and heat them up before you go out. It knows where you are in the world, and you know, just so in the car world, like cars are nowhere near as good as beer, because this beer was good enough in 1634 to still be brewed the same way now. That's all you need to say about it. That's all you need to say, isn't it? That's it. 375 years of a beer that is as good now as it was back in the day, although it's probably a bit stronger, what we talked about. Anyway, look how good that beer's still looking in that glass. It's still got its head. It's still there. We have got into this habit. I've found a habit of spinning beer now. I don't know why. Look at it. There's still so much going on with that. It's tasting more caramelly and more toffee and more fruity and more, but like dark fruity. There's no sort of like tropical-y type of fruits thing going there. It's all, everything's dark. It's all on the dark side. Do you know what? Like, I'm going to say this again. I've been at work today, like most people have. And all I've been thinking about all day whilst working is coming home tonight, coming down here, while Janie catches up on her STV, to talk about this beer. Not even review it, because it's been reviewed hundreds and hundreds of times by people that know what they're talking about. I like to think that I've got a good knowledge of a good beer and a good amount of knowledge about beer to be able to talk about it. It's just more not technical, you know what I mean? I'm probably just not as technical, but I can certainly... The one thing I'm proud of in this pub that we've created here, every single person that comes here and has a beer here will always say, whoa, that just tastes really good. When I do the hand pull, they say, I mean, a friend of mine loves Everard's Tiger, And he came here and he says to me, my God, he said, that's one of the best pints of Tigers I've ever had. I don't know, I'm trying to serve it as good as I can in the cleanest of glasses, getting nice head retention, and also with some of the ales, like you'd find in this, what's come today, boom, there. A lot of the ales and things like the old original, you know, you get a really nice sticky lacing down the glass. I just like to think that I try to serve and give the beer the best chance it's possibly got. But I'll tell you one thing. This at 7.9% tastes stronger than what that did at 8.2, and I think that's because that's a bit softer with a wheat, being a hybrid like a Weizen Doppel Bock. That was almost like you could just chuck it down your neck, whereas like this is a bit more boozy, but in a really, really good way. You know, there's some people will say to me, oh God, I can't drink a barley wine because it's just too alcoholic. It's just too much in the alcohol. But, you know, there is good quality barley wines out there. But this Doppelbock is just, yeah, it's got to be the best beer in the world. It's absolutely, and I think the Salvator is, correct me if I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong, keep correcting me if I'm wrong, because that's the only way you learn, is a style of beer. You know, so others try to copy this and do their own like Salvator beers, because I think Ator has a meaning. Anything, I'm always here to learn. I think somebody told me when I did the Spartan, just the standard sort of lager, that I didn't really get it. Someone just put in the comments, you poured it wrong. You know, you didn't have a big enough head. So I asked the question back, like, you know, because it had a 4-finger sort of head, but then it did dissipate to just to the little one. So if someone's saying that to me, I want to say then like, oh, well, explain to me how I should do it. But this particular person didn't explain to me how I should do it. So if someone says you're doing that wrong, then I'll ask, okay, tell me. And then if they tell me, I'm like, whoa, yeah, okay, I'll try that. It's great. You know, so we're all here to help each other out, aren't we? But anyway, this is half an hour that I've had over this beer. And you know what I'm like, well, I love these glasses. I can't think what the name of the glass is, but I just wanted some craft beer glass, because these that I've got here, as nice as these are, they're so damn delicate. I'm down to my last one now, because you only have to touch them with a feather and the rims break. These seem a little bit more sturdier, but yes, still keeping its head low. Oh my God, let's warm this last bit up. It's to be savoured, it's to be nurtured. Janie like texted the Academy for saying that. It's to be respected. It's to be respected. It's to be loved. It's to be like really, really thanked for the art that goes to brewing these beers under that purity law. Caramel, bready, nutty, roasty, chocolate and raisin, slurry, an outrageously good beer. I never score beers because I know that down the line I will have scored something at 8, and I'd give something an 8.5 that didn't deserve it over that beer because I would have forgot about that. So I don't I don't like score beers, but I know for certain that I can give this a 10 out of 10 because it is just possibly the best beer that's ever passed my lips. That is outrageously good. Wow, it's a stunning beer. It's one of the lick the plate beers. You know, if this was a plate and you'd had your dinner, you just want to lick it until lick the plate clean. It's like, I want to stick my tongue in. Anyway, right, waffling on as I always do. I'm off to get my stein now, and I'm going to put 2 bottles of the Paulaner Oktoberfest beer in that, a litre of beer, and I'm going to talk about that on the channel. There's no need to review it. I've already done that. It's an awesome beer. How it's going to taste after this, because apparently this is like that beer sort of, you know, with them sort of Munich malts and things, it's ramped right up. So, but I'm going to enjoy it because Oktoberfest has been bloody brilliant and I've loved it. And I'm on our bucket list is to go. So yeah, cheers everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. And yeah, the beer drinking is going to slow down now. And thanks for the new subscribers and everything. Get me to 200, please.